are live. Cool. All right. So we'll see who jumps on for now. But welcome, everybody, to who might be showing up. It is Thanksgiving. So thank you all to anyone who may be showing up. But I wanted to do a rundown of some point buying opportunities that I've stumbled across that have meant to have gone into a Tidbits, but I haven't had the opportunity to record. So we're going to go on here and just go into those. And if folks watch, great. If not, also great. We can do this as a VOD later, but I just wanted to take some time, do that. I know folks are enjoying time with their family. So I'm going to go on for however long I go and just see what happens. But thank you all for your support over the past year. We have grown to be a channel that's monetized, which is awesome. Hopefully by the end of this year, we can get to 1,500 subscribers, and then we can get to 2,000 at some point next year. So that would be solid. Here's a bit of a wreck today, is what it is, but let's see what we can do. So we've got a couple point buying opportunities that I wanted to highlight. Some that are ending soon, like tonight, some that are best evers. So some that are airlines that I haven't seen with point opportunities before. So let's jump into it. We've got first and foremost, Qatar Airways has an Avios purchase up to 65% bonus. That's going to end November 28th if it hasn't ended already. But you can purchase points with Qatar Airways up to a 65% bonus on purchases through November 28th. If you buy 3,000 to 25,000 Avios, that's going to be a 20% bonus. If you buy 26,000 to 48,000 Avios, that's going to be a 40% bonus. And if you buy 50,000 to 250,000 Avios, you get a 65% bonus. That equates out to 1.4 cents per Avios. So that'd be sweet. This was put up only on the 26th. So it is ending tonight. Do not know what time it's ending. It may have already ended already, but just wanted to highlight this one. It's been a couple of days. So yeah, you could end up buying a total of 412,500 Avios. So that would be 250,000 Avios plus 162,500 with the bonus for $5,808 if you so choose. But this helps if you're working on bookings with Qatar, or if you want to book One World with Qatar, or if you want to book another Avios flight with Qatar Avios, because as I say, like a broken record, an Avios is an Avios is an Avios. So yeah, again, I'm late to this, so it may have ended already, but Qatar's first is the first one I wanted to highlight because that is ending today if it hasn't already ended. I'm just going with upgraded points. I'm going to put the links for everything in after the live. So yeah, we'll go from there. So that was the first one. The second one I wanted to highlight, you can buy Avianca Life Miles with up to a 185% bonus. This is targeted. So if you're an Avianca Life Miles member, check that out. This one is through December 3rd at 11:59 Central Time. So you have a little bit of time for that, which would be cool. If you buy 1,000 miles, you'll get a 125% bonus. If you buy 2,000 to 25,000 miles, you'll get a 145% bonus. If you buy 26,000 to 45,000 miles, you're going to get a 165% bonus. If you do 46,000 to 200,000 miles, you'll get a 185% bonus, or buying Avianca Life Miles at 1.16 cents per point. And Life Miles you can use to book United or any other Star Alliance airline, as well as any other partner airlines with Avianca. So this is through December 3rd at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. So 1 a.m. on the East Coast, this will be over. So just wanted to highlight that. If you were to max out, you could pay $6,600 to maximize it and take home 570,000 life miles for $6,600. But that would be 200,000 life miles plus the bonus on that would be 370,000 miles. So pretty big bonus for Avianca Life Miles there. And again, you can book other Star Alliance airlines with Life Miles. So there's two right there. If there's any questions, feel free to drop them in. see what we can do there as well. But yeah, we're just going through bonuses, point purchase bonuses for airlines that I have meant to highlight in a tidbits, but I haven't had the opportunity to. And we're doing this stack your points style with my recent stack your points attire. So there we go. Another 100% bonus is going to be through TAP Portugal, and TAP is another Star Alliance partner. So you got that. This is going through December 5th. And again, all of the links will be in the final description when I put that together. So through December 5th, and this one is going to end at 6:59 p.m. Eastern time on December 5th. Why? I don't know. That's the time they chose. But you can purchase TAP, Miles&go, miles with 100% bonus. So you'll get a 100% bonus whether you buy 2,000 miles, which is the minimum, or 20,000 miles, the maximum. So if you buy 20,000 miles, that's going to be 40,000 miles. You'll end up paying $870 for those miles, bringing your price down to 2.175 cents per point. You can probably juice this by making this purchase with the TAP credit card from Cardless if you have it. I don't know why you would, but if you have it, you can keep dipping that way. And if it's through points.com, you may be able to find top cashback offer for 2.52% back. I've noticed that being an option. So with TAP, you can buy our maximum of 200,000 miles annually. So there you go. Miles are valid for 12 months. Though you can extend their validity up to 3 years with qualifying activity in your account, probably taking a flight or redeeming other miles, things like that. So TAP has a 100% bonus. And David William saying happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, David. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone watching, everyone observing, everyone who's gone through and had whatever meals they've had. I've had so much meat today. Beyond turkey. There was turkey, there was ham, pernil. What else do we have? There's chicken. I didn't partake in the chicken. There was also supposed to be brisket, but there ended up not being brisket. But happy Thanksgiving, David. Also roasted root vegetables. Eat your vegetables, guys. Don't know why I'm murmuring on that one. All right, so that's TAP Portugal. Let's see. Oh, here's another one. Also Star Alliance. This is going to be Air Canada. You can earn triple points on Air Canada gift cards. This is through December 2nd, so through Monday. We're going to try and get this minimized a little bit. Oh, well, full screen. So if you purchase a gift card with Air Canada, you can get triple points when buying that gift card. It's available through December 2nd. You can earn up to 30,000 points with it. And here are the details. So you'll earn triple Aeroplan points when buying gift cards through December 2nd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. This promotion provides that maximum of 30,000 bonus points. So you can purchase, I guess, up to 10,000 points. And some of the terms you'll want to know. Triple points are only available when spending $750 Canadian, which is roughly $535 or $535.60 according to upgraded points, or more in a single purchase. Earn 3 times points per Canadian dollar spent, roughly 71 cents US. Maximum purchase per transaction is $2,000 Canadian, roughly $14.28 US. You must enter your Aeroplan number at the time of purchase to earn bonus points. You can earn your maximum through this promotion by spending 10,000 Canadian, which is $7,141. Bonus points will post approximately 6 to 8 weeks after purchase. So triple points on Air Canada gift cards could be worth it to some folks, but we'll see. Chad coming through live. Thanks, Chad. Yeah, I figured let's just throw together a live, and I'm on all new equipment, so we're a solid 10 minutes in, and no audio issues that I know of, no video issues that I know of. So brand new MacBook on the microphone. So everything there is good. Filmo checking in. I've never purchased airline miles, not against it, just never have. Hey, completely fair. Transfer bonuses are also just as strong. Some folks can just can use it for topping up. Some folks can, if they've decided to jump into an airline, it's a great way to just build up a pool very quickly. I myself have not purchased airline miles. I have purchased hotel points, but it's pretty much the same all around. We got Chad Pennycuff. Howdy, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, Chad. So we're going to keep going. A couple others that I wanted to highlight. So triple points on Air Canada gift cards. Your mileage is definitely going to vary on that one. If that is of interest to you, there you go. If not, that makes sense. That's certainly fair. Air Canada miles are certainly valuable. Air Canada gift cards could have value. So let's see what we have next. But I just wanted to highlight that one. Another story. Also, this is all coming from upgraded points. This is just a roundup of stuff from upgraded points I wanted to highlight that has kind of slipped through the cracks a little bit, and I figure it's worth mentioning. So pretty soon you'll be able to earn points on the cash portion of Southwest cash and points bookings. Southwest isn't everybody's favorite airline. I totally get it. But in the past, if you did cash and points, apparently you were not earning points on the cash portion of those bookings, which just sounds weird when I say it out loud, but pretty soon you'll be able to earn rapid rewards points on the cash portions of those cash plus points bookings. So these changes start with Southwest cash and points bookings. Tickets flown on January 1st, 2025. The cash portion of these flights will earn redeemable rapid rewards points, tier qualifying points towards A-list and A-list preferred elite status, and qualifying credit towards Southwest's infamous companion pass. So pretty much starting January 1st, when you do a cash plus points booking, you are going to earn points that you can later use for other bookings, and your cash spend on that will count toward companion pass and A-list preferred. So that's actually super valuable. Yeah, let's keep going here. Chad saying, hey to everybody. He also followed up with, I want the Chase Air Canada transfer bonus to come back. I'm sure it will come back. I'm not sure when that one is usually slated. I know it comes around on a pretty regular cadence. I want to say it is in the spring, but I could totally be wrong about that. So they can be pretty powerful, especially if you have the Air Canada card, because whatever you transfer over can also get a boost using the Air Canada card from there. So that can be a huge plus. Also, all of that can be any points that you get with the card, any points that you get from the Chase transfer, and the bonus from the Chase transfer. All of that is eligible for Pay Yourself Back, which can be pretty powerful. Check out Dugraz's videos on those for how powerful those can be for him. Not for everybody, but they can be pretty powerful, especially when things line up just right. You can get like 1.625 cents per point or something like that. So definitely useful. Chad highlighting Southwest has some major plan changes and overhauls coming. Yeah, Southwest. So Southwest is probably going to be one of the most interesting airlines to look at in 2025. They're changing their program. They're putting in assigned seating. I'm sure that assigned seating is going to be like for like section A and maybe B. It'll be interesting to see how they change their boarding process, because it sounds like with assigned seating, maybe the cattle call, as we call it, it will no longer be in effect, but we'll see. So Southwest is definitely one to watch for 2025. Sorry, I'm going to drink some water here. Others would be whatever Spirit is up to next year with their reorganization. JetBlue with the launch of their lounges at Boston and JFK is going to be interesting. And I think they're making some changes to their product as well, and emphasizing like Mint and like a mini Mint type product in the next little bit. So I would definitely keep my eye on Southwest. If the assigned seating changes are positive Southwest might be more of an airline I'll look into for domestic flights, but we'll see what happens. Filmo coming in with a salute to the Chads. Chad Punningcuff Dugraph says twice a year, but the historical list bloggers are listing about one time every other year. Yeah, I remember there being one a couple of months ago. I feel like there was one in late 2023, but again, I could totally be wrong. So I know Dugrav stays on top of those a lot more than I do. So we'll keep it rolling. So that was Southwest. Oh, in addition, if you don't want to buy Air Canada gift cards with triple points, Air Canada is also doing an 80% bonus on Aeroplan point purchases until December 11th. So this is through December 11th. Let me get the time frame on that one. Through December 11th. So there's no set time that this will expire, but it is live now through December 11th. If you purchase 2,000 to 10,000 points, that is going to be no bonus. If you purchase 15,000 to 500,000 points, you'll get you'll get the 80% bonus, which will equate 1.39 cents per point. And again, if you were to stack this with the Air Canada card from Chase, all of the points that you buy, all of the points generated from the purchase would all be eligible for pay yourself back. So this could be a point purchase strategy to make pay yourself back a little bit more lucrative for yourself, because if you use the card to make that payment, you'll get all the points from the payment from that you purchased should be eligible because you use the card to purchase it, and all of the points generated from the purchase would then be eligible for pay yourself back. If I understand the pay yourself back terms properly, because all points generated from spend should be eligible. I think if you purchase the purchase points may or may not. How about that? I'm going to leave that with your mileage may vary. So yeah, we want to make sure. I should probably make sure about that. But Air Canada Aeroplan points, you make the purchase at points.com. If you use the Top Cash Back app to set up the points purchase, then you get 2.52 cents per point instead of the more usual 1.25 from Rakuten. So if you're going to buy points, do them with Top Cash Back. You'll get double cash back on that one. Not double, sorry. No, just more north of double. Sorry, I was thinking that 1.25 times 2 equaled 3 for whatever reason. So my math was wrong. Now, Filmo popping in with I'm hoping for a JetBlue Premium card. Me too. I know that card will grant lounge access. So from jump, it's going to be probably more like the American Airlines Executive card, the United Club card, or the Delta Reserve. Now, is it going to be 500? I don't know that 500 is the right number for that, just because that is a big number, and I don't know that only having 2 lounges will justify a $500. Now, throw in pre-check global entry, etc. Throw in some interesting credits. Throw in a bigger anniversary bonus, maybe. Also, this is JetBlue overseeing this card, so who knows? But a JetBlue Premium card is definitely going to be interesting. I just don't know what the total value prop ends up being, unless it's something. The other thing that they'll have to do is your spend to mint has to be significantly lower on a JetBlue Premium card than the regular JetBlue card. So the JetBlue Plus and the JetBlue Business, since those are effectively the same card, I know that if you spend $1,000 on general spend, you get 1 tile with the JetBlue Plus and the JetBlue Business. If you do $100 of JetBlue specific spend, you will get 1 tile. For this card, a JetBlue premium card, those numbers have to drop significantly. Now, I don't know if it's $500 in general spend. I don't know if it's as low as $20 JetBlue spend and, $200 regular spend gets you tiles. But those thresholds should come down on a premium card because you're going to be spending like some amount significantly north of $95, $99 for that card. And they have to make it enticing for you to be able to spend the status in a way that makes sense for JetBlue and encourages you to use the premium card. I don't know what other multipliers they're going to put on that card because those multipliers tend to be weak. It's 6 times JetBlue points on the JetBlue Plus and the JetBlue Business. It is 2 times grocery and dining on the Plus and 2 times dining and office supply stores on the Business and 1 times everything else on both cards. So maybe those multipliers have to change a little bit. Keep the 6 times JetBlue, bump the dining and grocery up to 3 on a premium card. Add in TSA pre-check, add in lower spending caps to get you to Mosaic, and maybe the value prop is there. I'm not 100% sure what that card looks like, but there are places that Barclays can go with it. There are places that JetBlue can go with it, but the lounge access is going to be huge. TSA pre-checking, global entry is kind of should be part of it, but we'll see. Joshua with a yo, happy Thanksgiving all. Welcome, Joshua. Thank you for joining in on the live tonight. So let's just keep it rolling here. So that was the Aeroplan purchases, 80% bonus there. So yeah, upgrade points going into whether or not you should. Whatever. Next up, though, I wanted to highlight you can buy Copa Airlines Connect miles with up to a 90% bonus. Best ever price. So Copa Airlines based in Panama, serves destinations throughout the Americas. I believe Copa is Copa is a Star Alliance member. Star Alliance has 26 airlines as part of it, I think. I think it's 26. And then there's also German train network, Bahnhof, I think. But they're Star Alliance, so your Copa Airlines points can be used for United Airways, United Airlines, Air Canada, any Star Alliance offer there, Lufthansa. So you can make points purchases with a 90% bonus. Again, I'm just highlighting this 90% bonus. If you want to purchase Copa Connect miles, this would make the points purchase as little as 1.58 cents per point. If you're able to get like north of 2.5, 3, or around 3 cents per point value, you're buying $1 for 50 cents basically. And who doesn't hate that? So if you purchase between 6,000 and 9,000 miles, you're going to get a 60% bonus, 1.88 cents per point. If you buy 10,000 to 14,000, you're going to get a 70% bonus. 15,000 to 19,000 is going to get you an 80% bonus. And 20,000 plus miles will get you a 90% bonus. No bonuses if you purchase less than 4,000 miles. Promotion is valid from now until December 8th. And the maximum amount of miles that you can purchase is 70,000 miles. So you'll get 70,000 plus a 90% bonus, which is between 50 and 60,000 miles. So you're going to get around 130,000 miles. And you have to make purchases in increments of 20,000 miles. But again, everything north of 20,000, you have to buy in increments of 1,000 miles, not 20,000. Geez, that's silly. So everything north of 20,000 is going to get you a 90% bonus, which is Copa's greatest ever. And you're purchasing points for as little as 1.58 cents per point or cents per mile. If you're able to redeem those miles with a Star Alliance partner, international business class or whatever, and get valuations of 2.5, 3 cents per point, then you have effectively bought $1 for 50 cents, which is always coming out ahead. So that always makes the point purchase worth it. And again, this is capped at 70,000 miles before the bonus. So you're going to end up buying around between 120 and like 135,000 miles at the end of the day. So there you go. Just wanted to highlight that one just because it's the best ever. And the last one that I had that I definitely wanted to highlight was Etihad. You can buy Etihad guest miles with up to a 30% bonus. This ends December 3rd. I'm sorry that this has been all over the place. Just is what it is. So Etihad is not in any of the major airline alliances, but it does have a lot of partnerships with specific airlines. They are partnered with American Airlines on certain things, but Etihad is not a member of One World or Star Alliance or SkyTeam. But the point purchasing, as I said, goes through December 3rd. Must buy in increments of 1,000 miles. Your purchases will be credited to your account within 72 hours. Purchases are non-refundable. You can buy a maximum of 100,000 miles per year before any bonuses. But if you're an Etihad Platinum member, you can purchase up to 150,000 miles. So it's structured this way: 1,000 to 24,000 miles, there's no bonus. 25,000 to 49,000 miles, you get a 20% bonus, or 1.67 cents per mile. If you buy 50,000 or more miles, you'll get a 30% bonus. So if you were to buy the max of 100,000 miles, you'll get 130,000 miles for a rate of 1.54 cents per point with Etihad guest miles. So 30% bonus, not the greatest, but a bonus is a bonus. So I just wanted to highlight the bonus in some way, shape, or form. And we've got Johnny Jimenez. Hello, Matt and everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving, Johnny. And then we've got some spam with users saying boo, and then please read my comments, and then please. So user, I'm just going to highlight this first one, and there you go. So some other things I wanted to highlight. There was mention on one of the blogs today that Frontier is allowing you to purchase points for the first time with a 100% bonus. If flying Frontier is your thing, there we go. So just wanted to highlight that is a option for you if you so choose. Let's see, where was that? I don't remember that being on upgraded points, but I did see most of these here on upgraded points. I had to go back a couple of days for those. Also from upgraded points, Hilton is expected to increase award pricing at small luxury hotels properties. So when SLH and Hilton first launched, there were pretty solid rates across the board. That is going away, or not going away, but it is going to be seeing increases. Yes. So for example, they put in Bluefield's Bay Villas has jumped from a price of 130,000 points per night to 150,000 points per night. The View Lugano, which I guess is in Switzerland. Yeah, Lugano, Switzerland. That increased from 110,000 points a night to 130,000 points per night. So you're seeing about a 20,000 point difference across the board. Yeah. Good times are not always there. Cynthia asks, do you do giveaways? No, not right now. I'm a pretty small channel, so sorry. Lewis, happy Thanksgiving, Matt. Hopefully you are good and wasted. Good, yes. Wasted, not yet. I do have implements to do that, but not going to do that on stream right now. Sorry for the water break. But yeah, so SLH is going to be going up about 20,000 points across the board. So just be on the lookout for that. Not great, but kind of expected. Some of those prices were sort of in too good to be true land, and you're going to see some corrections there. What are some other things here? Oh, the other thing I wanted to bring up. This has not been coming up in any videos that I've seen this week, but announced earlier this week, you can start earning points and elite qualifying nights through Chase's The Edit program. And if you know about third-party booking with like Hyatt and IHG and Marriott and things like that, you know that if you do a booking with like Chase Travel, not the American Express portal. The American Express portal is a little bit different with Hilton and Marriott specifically, but booking.com or Capital One Travel, or, insert not specifically going with whatever chain, you know that if you make a booking through those third-party platforms, you don't get elite qualifying nights, you don't get bonus points, you don't get your status recognized, anything like that. Chase and The Edit is starting to be recognized for elite qualifying nights at specific hotels. So you'll have to, when you're making the booking, I'm going to make a side video about this either later tonight to be posted tomorrow or sometime relatively shortly. But Chase is kind of changing the game with their third-party options, or as a third-party option, because if you make the booking with points, that's seen as a cash purchase. So you're going to get bonus points from the hotel chain in question. And it's not just IHG, Hyatt, and Marriott. There's also, it was noted by the points guy that Accor was showing as giving you those points and recognizing your status. And if Hilton gets on board with the Edit, because I believe you can book Hilton properties through the Edit. If Hilton's jumping on board with that, now you have another way to generate Hilton points by using your Chase Ultimate Reward points, which works out for someone like me who only has the Hilton Honors card, but I do have a boatload of Chase points. So I can definitely work from there. But the Edit is going to start allowing you to earn elite qualifying nights, which is huge to me. And we'll see what happens from there. But I'm going to make a separate video on that one. Maybe go through the process, see about screen recording and putting that out there. So be on the lookout for that. I might make it a members first and then go from there. But yeah. So what else was there? The only other major thing, if you saw this week's episode of Stack Your Points, the main episode dropped yesterday. I did a discussion portion of like, oh no, what should I do about my Chase cards? Well, I have made a decision on the Chase Slate Edge. I was futzing around in the Chase app last night. I saw that there was an offer for a credit line increase on the card. I got a credit line increase of $1,500 on it. So I'm going to convert it to a Freedom Unlimited for now, generate what points I can. If the double your cash back at the end of year offer comes back on the Chase Freedom Unlimited, I'm going to product change that card to another card, probably a Freedom, an original Freedom Visa, which Chase may not like. And if not, then I'll make it a Freedom Flex and just like keep the card open, but like not using it actively while I put all my spend on a cashback match option. We've got Cesar Joel here saying, hey, Matt. Hey, Cesar. Chad mentioning hey to Cesar as well. Happy to see you live. Happy to be live and like not have any issues so far. So new setup. I have an M4 MacBook Pro. Now I've got a boatload of RAM. So I throw tabs at this thing like there's no tomorrow. And no issues. I've never heard the fans go on. I have not heard the fans go on yet. I have not figured out a way to make them turn on, which is great. So there you go. Cesar saying, hey to Chad, please. I'm not sure what that's in regard to, but there we go. Chat's picked up a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to convert my Chase Slate Edge into a Freedom Unlimited for a little while. It's a card that I've not been putting any spend on at all for the last like 6 months. So to avoid that card potentially getting shut down in the future, turn into a Freedom Unlimited, put some spend on it, 1.5% and cash back on all purchases. It's not my favorite catch-all, but it is a good way to generate Chase points. And yeah, we'll go from there. Also gets 3% back on drugstores, so I can definitely use that as a drugstore card, attach it to my Built account, and then double dip for 3 times UR at Built card and 3 point times UR on the card, and then 1 or 2 points with Built from there. Cynthia says, please say my name. There we go. This is the last time. Cesar asks, no OG Freedom. I might convert it to an OG Freedom when the Freedom Unlimited cashback match at the end of the year comes back. So for now, I'll use it as a 1.5 and then the pharmacies and double dip with Built when I go to Walgreens. And then when the unlimited cashback match offer comes back, where you can turn it into like 3 times everything, 6 times dining, 6 times pharmacy, 10 times travel, then I'll probably move it to an OG Freedom and go from there. But for now, I think I'll put it into the Freedom Unlimited, and then when that offer comes back. But yeah, as Cesar says, I know you don't like rotating categories, but yeah, an OG Freedom would make a good amount of sense. Since I'm just looking to get some spend on the card for now, I figured just an unlimited, because, for all I know, I make the conversion now, and then like at the beginning of the year, it comes back with the unlimited cashback match. Yeah, I'll feel silly, but I can just call back again and just say, hey, I want to take advantage of that offer. Can I make this a, Chase Freedom with unlimited rewards, or Chase Freedom Flex? More likely I'd ask for a Freedom Unlimited, Freedom with ultimate rewards, which is the Visa version of the 5X rotating category. Hold on. Don't know what happened there. Temporarily lost the camera. My apologies. David William, yeah, that's what happens when you block and insist on something, and I placate to you, and you just keep asking for the same thing. No. Filmo says that double offer is the only way I would get the CFU. Absolutely the same. I just happen to have a Slate Edge that I used for some balance transfers. Once I cleared the balance, then it was just a question of like, what am I going to do with this card? It would make a certain amount of sense just to make it the rotating category card, but since they did offer a credit line increase as well, I figure I may as well just put some spend on the card now, and then if I see that double offer come back, convert the card again, and then apply for the double offer. I do have the slot open for the double offer, but I was also trying to keep that slot open for, a World of Fire luxury card that looks like it's never going to come. Sorry, not just electrolyte and not just water. Need some electrolytes here, folks. So we did some of those double cash, those point offers. I did mention the booking with Chase the edit. That is going to get you elite qualifying nights, and that is awesome. Where was that Frontier story? I wanted to go with that. Oh well. So there we go. Let's see. We've got Rodrigo Mendez. What are your thoughts on Mesa so far beating Built to the points for mortgages payments? They haven't yet. They've announced that they're going to be doing 1x points for mortgages and 3 times points on home-related purchases, but the card's not out yet. So until the card launches, I wouldn't say they've beat Built to points for mortgages, but I do understand the intent of the question. It's going to be interesting to see what Mesa does, see how their rollout is, because Built came out and promised a bunch and executed really well up until they stopped executing really well. And they were really good at communication up until they weren't good at communication. So it's going to be interesting to see what Mesa does once they stop taking waitlist and start getting the cards out there. They're also partnering with a smaller bank. I want to say it's Coastal Community Bank. I'm blanking from my video, but I think that Mesa is interesting in the way that they're approaching things. If they get the card launched before Built is able to get into mortgage payments, good on them for launching. Then it's a question of how popular is this going to be? How able are they going to be to cater to demand? What is their customer service going to look like? How are they going to let you use your points beyond? They say that they're transfer partners. Well, who are their transfer partners, right? If they're just lining up with like Best Western, like Best Western has good properties. I'm not trying to knock the Best Western program, but if you're promising transfer partners, right, folks will have a certain thing in mind. And Built having partnered with the big 4 hotel chains, that being Hilton, Hyatt, IHG, Marriott, and bringing on Hilton and Marriott in 2024 and IHG in mid 2023, and also adding Accor in the last 2 months. Because as much as I'm like looking at Built suspiciously, the fact that they still have added partners is still encouraging that like things are working there, and their new like points for a house purchase is indicative that like mortgages are coming, and possibly sooner than later. So I do think Mesa is going to be interesting. Oh, the other thing with Mesa is what banks are they going to be partnered with to get you those points on mortgages? Like, if it's big banks or any bank, that's going to be one thing. And like, that's going to be huge. If it's not a big bank, or if it's a very small collection of banks, there's not much I can say there. So I'm interested to see what happens with Mesa, but if Built can get mortgages out quicker, great. Mesa's still definitely interesting, and I think it's going to provide good competition to Built. So they have to see that Mesa's pretty close, and hopefully they'll respond in kind. So Cesar asks next card, then highlights my next card. I'm up in the air. I don't have a roadmap right now, so I'm not going to be doing a roadmap video. Next card right now is product changing my Slate Edge into a Freedom Unlimited. And I'm going to try and get my player 2 to apply for the JetBlue Plus card so that she can get that 80,000 point bonus on 1,000 in spend. She is part of my JetBlue points pool, so those points should come to me that way, which would get us 120,000 points, which would be great. And then my next card after that, I am trying to game out what I will go for. I'm not sure I want to go with the World of Hyatt business card. I'm not sure if I want to go with another business card. Figuring out my point strategy for next year will be great. Yeah, I have personal cards that don't exist yet that are of interest to me. Those would be the Wells Fargo Autograph Beyond. I want to see what City Strata Elite looks like when it launches. I want to see what City Strata Select is. Is it a business card? Is it a is it just, a rebranding of the Rewards Plus card with some fixes to it? I don't know. So I'll be interested to see what that card looks like. Any of the Capital One cards that are trademarked, if those are of interest when they launch, that could be cool. But I don't have a next card ready to go in the chamber at the moment. So I kind of just want to see like where I can go next. So player 2 is going to apply for the JetBlue Plus card. If she gets it and we get that 80,000 point bonus, great. If not, c'est la vie. And then after that, there's business cards that are of interest to keep my chase marketing strategy number down. And then that number decreases by 2 in April. So by April, I might start adding personal cards again, but we'll see. I don't have a next card next, so we'll see what happens. But the Freedom Unlimited will help, and then I have to find my physical copy of my active cash. It's somewhere in my house. Dugraus reports, logs in with a Matt is outside standing in a field with a nice blue sky. Yeah, I don't mind this background one bit. I like it quite a bit. Much better than my usual backgrounds. So I like the nice blue sky. It is very dark outside where I am on the East Coast. So there we go. Cesar with a hey Doug with a hey bro, or Dugraus with a hey bro. Sorry, Dugraus. And then Flubber Ghosted with hey Matt with credit cards. Hey Flubber Ghosted. Is this Gabe? That's Flubber Ghosted from the Venture Capital Discord. We'll see. But yeah, that's just a long winding road there with I don't have a next card. I don't have a roadmap. I don't have a strategy. I don't have like a burning desire to go out and sign up for a card that I don't want to jump through hoops to meet the spend on. So I don't see myself getting any MR charge cards right now. I don't see myself getting any other major cards at the one Atlanta. Sorry, that's a whole bunch of jumbled words right there. The one American Express business card I would go after right now would probably be the Hilton business card. $195 annual fee is a pain, but 5 times points on everything up to $100,000 in spend, gold status, which is helpful. And right now I feel like it's got a healthy welcome offer on like 6,000 spend in 6 months, and American Express Copa and business cards are nice that the spend is spread out over 6 months instead of 3. So yeah, if I'm going to add an American Express business card, it's probably going to be the Hilton business card, even though the changes made it slightly worse. But if I spend a night a quarter at a Hilton, that's the $50 credit right there. So yeah, I can figure things out pretty easily from there. Bomo says, we all know Matt is in the bunker. Yes. The bunker is alive and well. I just feel like hiding the bunker from time to time. Oh, sorry. Real quick. Tampa Travel. Happy Thanksgiving, Matt. Happy Thanksgiving, Tampa Travel. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone who's watching. Much appreciated. And Tampa Travel is a channel member, as well as Chad from earlier is also a channel member. Feel free to join my channel membership. Totally optional, but really helpful. Flubber Ghosted mentions that they just got the Signify. A great compliment to my OG autograph. Wells is treating me well. Yep, the Signify business card is a great business card. 2%, 2% across the board on all business spend. All spend. You can take that cash back. You can move it over to your autograph with ease. I do have a video on that. I can throw that in the description. But really helps with being able to move over to transfer partners. And a great compliment to the OG Freedom, to the OG autograph card. Also, great compliment to the autograph journey. If you have the autograph journey, Wells has a really nice setup between the Attune, the Active Cash, or Signify, and the autographs. It's really nice. So I like the Signify. I was sent an offer for a second one. I didn't pull the trigger, but if they do send me another offer in the next like 90 to 120 days, I will probably pull the trigger on that. See if I can, one, if I can churn it, and two, I like that welcome offer. 5,000 spend, $500 back, 10% back on your spend, and you can transfer that cash back over to points, and it'll continue to build my points while I wait for Autograph Beyond, because I'm expecting Autograph Beyond to have something like a 75 to 80,000 point welcome offer, hopefully, Or maybe Wells knocks our socks off and gives us a 100,000 point offer on that card. Chad says the only card he wouldn't mind adding would be another Delta Amex Business Platinum, but honestly, I don't want the annual fee. $350 for that card's a little tough, but if you are adding on Business Platinum and you've got the Personal Platinum or a Reserve, that's automatic silver status, and that's awesome. And yeah, you can't really go wrong with that. So I can definitely see that. Annual fee does hurt a little bit. The credits on it can help a little bit, but they're not my favorite credits. Especially, I think that one's what, a $10 Resi credit? Not great. So we'll see. But the Business Platinum and the Personal Platinum, those two alone give you silver status and go from there, which helps. Dugras, heard you recently got a passport? Yep, recently did. I also started my application. I still have to do the interview for global entry, but I put in my global entry. I paid for my global entry application. I've gotten the credit for my global entry application. I just need to do the global entry application again for my player 2 and my player 3, or like my little one, and then we'll go from there. And they ask, what do you have in mind for your next or first, if applicable, international trip? This would be next international trip. My last international trip was a jaunt to Scotland and London. My brother, my dad, and I went in 2014. We were in Edinburgh, Scotland, did Castle Edinburgh. Then we went down to London, did tours, did like most of the touristy stuff that you do in London. I did the International War Museum. And then we did a couple of other things. We stayed at a place called the Jury's Inn in London. Don't know if it's under any hotel chain. I was booking places via third-party booking like a madman in 2014. So yeah, and we were doing like pay for everything in full and not even realizing this whole world existed. Or if we were I wasn't realizing it at the time. I was only like 2 years into holding my first credit card. So yeah. But my next trip, I'm planning on going back to Ireland in 2026. Next year, we might do something international that'll require the passport. I also have an enhanced license as a resident in the state that I live in, with a border in Canada. So I've gone into Canada a couple times with my enhanced license. But international flights, we might try to do something international besides the creator meetup. That's not going to be international. I may do something in the Caribbean. Or look into a flight to the other side of the country and like fly into Vancouver or something. But very definitely next big redemption internationally is going to be family trip to Ireland. That one I'm looking to do some sort of lay flat business class, and I don't care that I'm going to put a small child in business class. I'm paying for it, dang it. So yeah. And then we're going to look into global entry for all three of us. So that will be fun. And then driving on the other side of the road, that's going to suck. Chad asks, I feel like my hotel strategy, Delta stays plus FHRs. Definitely a valid strategy, especially with the credits that you get on the Platinum, Business Platinum, Reserve, and Business Reserve. Oh, and the gold cards too. The Delta Golds also give you Delta stays. So that can definitely work. FHR is $200. That's nice. Flubber Ghosted, only Amex card I'm excited about is my Blue Business Plus, 2x MR on everything. Yep. As long as you're spending less than $50K a year on the card, then you are good to go there. No, the Blue Business Plus is a good enough card. It's 2x on everything. I just wish they would make a personal version of that card, but it's a good card, and it's a nice anchor to keep your membership reward points if you give up on your other charge cards. And the charge cards and the Blue Business Plus right now are the only way to earn membership reward points since they took out the everyday preferred. So we'll go from there. But Blue Business Plus is a really solid card. You can't go wrong with it. Tampa Traveling, my autograph is my go-to when traveling abroad. Basically covers all travel expenses at 3x with no foreign transaction fee and no annual fee. Yep, it's a great card. I love that it's no foreign transaction fee, no annual fee. It gets the job done for dining. You can use it internationally for gas. You can use it internationally for purchasing the rental. The coverage is secondary, but whatever. And well, when traveling internationally, it would be primary, except in like Israel, Jamaica, and Ireland, which bites, but is what it is. No, the autograph is a very underrated, no annual fee travel card. I wouldn't say it's better than the bill card. I wouldn't say it's better than other annual fee cards, but it is a very slept on card, and more people should get the autograph. It's a great card. Dugrav says, is that a new microphone? What kind? I've had this microphone now for a couple of weeks. This has been primarily for the Stack Your Points podcast. I have used it for the interview series that I've been doing, which reminds me I still have to do City. I've not forgotten about that one. But this is an Elgato Wave Neo. I purchased it for about $80. I want to say it was like $79.99 plus tax on Amazon. But it's the Elgato Wave Neo, relatively inexpensive microphone. It's got a touch button mute on the front, and it connects via USB-C, or I have it connected via USB-C, but it's USB-C in the back, and it connects. I moved it to USB-C cable, but it does have a USB-A cable. The sound on it's been pretty good. So I definitely like this as a beginner mic. At some point, I might upgrade to either like a bigger Elgato or a Shure or something like that. But we'll see in time. But I do like this microphone. I've come to enjoy it quite a bit. So let's scroll up because I'm falling behind a little bit here. Tampa Travels asks if I am in the bunker. I am indeed. I just threw up a backdrop. As you can see, my hands get a little pixelated. Oh, less pixelated than usual. Good work, MacBook. So here, let's just turn off the background for just a second. No virtual background. Nope, it's still there. All right, no biggie. I am in fact in the bunker. The bunker is where I be. Chad Pennycuff says the credits theoretically make up for it. The BOGO is where it is on the plat. Yes, the companion pass on the Platinum is definitely worth it. It is really, really good, but it is not quite the companion pass that you get on the Reserve. But it does go far. So, yeah, that companion pass can more than make up the annual fee. And if you're getting the Business Platinum, you get a second companion pass. So that is where the value is. You'll net out pretty well on that one. Rodrigo Mendez, any word on when Journey Beyond is coming out? I don't know. I'm aware that right now there is like some question about the trademark. So the trademark was filed. The trademark office went back to Wells Fargo back in like June with concerns saying that Wells Fargo's autograph trademark being included in travel was too similar in the trademark office's eyes to Marriott's autograph trademark because they have an autograph collection. These things usually get sorted out. I would assume that we will see it by the end of quarter 3, by the end of quarter 4, but realistically, we might end up seeing it at the beginning of quarter 1. That's why in some videos in the last like couple of weeks, I've been saying maybe it's Journey, maybe it's Autograph Beyond, maybe it's just called Beyond, maybe it's something else. There is a slight hiccup right now with the trademark, but I'm sure they're going to get it earned out. They did file an extension back in September to answer for those questions that the trademark office had by December, and lawyers and whatever. But Beyond should be coming relatively soon. Like, again, Wells Fargo this year has launched the one key cards. They launched the Attune card unexpectedly. They launched the Autograph Journey. They launched the Signify Cash. There are also Signify cards that were launched to previous business customers as like changeover cards. So the Signify Elite and Signify Essential are cards that corresponded with old Visa business cards. So they've launched, if you count those three, Journey would be 4, Attune is 5, the One Key cards, that's 7 cards that they've launched in 2024 alone. And in 2023, they also added the 2 choice cards and they took on the Built card. So they've been busy, man. But Beyond should be soon. We're going to keep going. Mark Hott says you need a passport to enter Canada. A passport is one document you can use to enter Canada, but more likely if you have an enhanced ID or real ID, that will also help with crossing into Canada. I live in New York State. I have a New York State enhanced license. I only have to show that. It is a real ID as well. If you have a federal real ID, which is passports and other demarcated options, other demarcated documents, you can use those. So passport is one document you can use. It is not required. TruckRX chimes in with August is a good time for Ireland. Sounds about right. We've usually gone in like May. I've gone in March. I know that like November it's rainy and cold. So TruckRX, I'm just gonna say your screen name because your full name comes up as a channel member. If I highlighted it, up to you if you want me to display it. I'm just going to respect your TruckRX for right now. Jay Rome says, what's the trashiest hotel program and why is it Wyndham Rewards? Sir, Red Roof Inns exist. I don't know. I haven't stayed. The Wyndham properties that I've stayed at are like Days Inn, but the Days Inns I've found have been like relatively clean. And that was like right as Days Inn was purchased by Wyndham. So I've stayed at La Quintas. La Quintas aren't that bad in my opinion, but La Quintas like fall in the it's been a long day on the road. I wasn't expecting to need a hotel. What's got 4 walls and a bed and is fine. But your mileage is definitely going to vary on La Quinta, and yeah, I can understand issues. Dugrouse chimes in with Wyndham for Vacasa or cottages can be great. He's definitely had experience there. I have not used Vacasa or cottages, so I can't say for certain, but I do know that you can use the if you have the Wyndham Earner cards, you'll get that 10% discount, and that can stretch out pretty well. So like 15,000 points becomes 13,500. 30,000 points would become like 27,000. I think it extends that far up, but your mileage will definitely vary. J-Rome has had some pretty rough experiences. Vacasa never seems to be where I travel to. Super 8s and La Quintas are usually dirty roach motels. I have not had problems at the La Quintas that I've stayed at, but I also keep my La Quinta expectations very, very low. So there's that. Chad Pennycuff mentions Elgato has some solid gear. Yep, they definitely do. I like this microphone. It sounds nice. Dugrouse also asks, why is Ireland always on the list of primary CW exclusions? That is a great question. I have a feeling it has something to do with the Troubles, but I'm speaking out of my butt on that one. So I could definitely be wrong. Could have things to do with just the size of roads and the types of roads that you travel and companies not being willing to insure those. But when I say that out loud, it doesn't make sense. It's not a very motorway rich country. It does have some motorways, but like most of the roads that I've experienced in Ireland are very small country roads, but I don't think that leads into anything. Johnny Jimenez mentions that the microphone sounds great. Thank you, or sounds good. Dugrouse chimes in with sounds great. Yep. ChuckerX says I recently become a Capital One Duo fan. BOI for overseas after escaping Chase after finishing my Chase Inc. Freedom Quad. BOI. Best of investment for overseas? I do know that the Capital One cards, neither Capital One card has a neither Capital One card has a foreign transaction fee. So you can definitely do pretty well there. Chad mentions I saved $640 on my trip to San Diego from DTW with my son. Yep, that companion pass goes on for fanboy. Okay, sorry. We'll come back here. Chad saved $640 on his trip to San Diego from DTW with the son. Pretty sure with the companion pass, it's really great. J-Rome, super excited for what Wells does next, since I still hold out the old Visa signature and the points pool at 1.5 cents per point. Hey, you're not the only one who has that card. Yeah, that Visa signature card is all of the sudden going to be a very sneaky good card for a lot of folks. I know they just updated the design on it. I'm not sure if you can product change to that card, but that they updated the design and they're not forcing folks off of that card to another card is good news. So we will have to see, but you can definitely redeem those points in the travel portal with that card at 1.5 cents per point. It's a no annual fee, like weird powerhouse that, as long as people don't abuse, will be super valuable for those who have held the card for this long and are now being rewarded with things like Flying Blue and Flying Blue and the Avios program and Choice and Virgin. I'm just waiting to see if they add Air Canada. Air Canada would make the most sense to be the next transfer partner. I'm not saying that they are, but it would make a lot of sense. So we'll see. But no, Wells still has exciting things coming down the pipe, I think, as long as those transfer partners are not, terrible. And Charles or Trucker X says, "Call me anything except for late for dinner." Hey, me too. Absolutely. Just didn't want to mention your name without you giving me the expressibility to do so. So thank you for that, Charles, and thank you for being a channel member. Much like some others, again, you can always feel free to join the channel membership. I'll make that pitch again. Doing it very, very lightheartedly. $2.99 a month. Trying to do some member only Q&As from time to time. If the membership grows to an extent where I can do like members only lives, that would be an option. But for now, it's going to be some like updates on the channel news or like what I'm thinking type videos that probably won't do well. Or I'll launch videos there first as members first and go from there. And then Charles mentions, actually, Wyndham Gardens are generally clean, quiet, and safe, but not fancy. Sometimes all you need is 4 walls, a bed, and a nice shower. Slang for fanboy. Yep, I figured that out way too late as soon as you said it. Dugrows mentions fanboy equals fanboy. Yep. Millennial fail on that one, because I'm sure that was my generation that was spelling it BOY for a little while, and I hate it. Charles mentions Wells Fargo is putting nice pressure on the establishment. I can't disagree. I mean, the Attune card is really strong with its 4% categories. I'm consistently getting 4% at Amazon. Pretty much everything I'm buying is getting 4% there. And then, yeah, when it's going to become my sports venue card, it's going to become like any sort of live entertainment booking that I want to do. If I want to book like a comedy club, that's going to go on the Attune card. If I want to book, go to a bookstore, that's going to go on the Attune card. Thrift stores are also an option there. So like secondhand, I want to see like, I myself don't usually do like secondhand music stores, but if secondhand music stores are an option, that's also a really nice thing for 4%. And then if I eventually get an electric car, the electric charging at 4% is also going to be really strong. So like that's a really strong 4% card. I'm glad they didn't like throw on 4% dining, 4% other cliche category that every other card can do at 3% or 4%. Although groceries would have really been nice. Hopefully Beyond addresses groceries. That is like the one category that they're weakest. But they're putting some nice pressure on, and I can't wait to see what Beyond does to answer the call to like the Sapphire Reserve, a card that I have and like, to the Venture X, what it could do to I don't know that it's going to punch as high as the American Express Platinum, but I don't think it's not going to be a serious contender for like that elite type card. So we'll just have to see what they end up doing. I'm also curious to see what City Strata Elite ends up looking like. Is City going to try to do Prestige again, but put in nice controls on it? Or is City going to repeat the same problems that they ended up having with Prestige? I don't know. But no, I do like the pressure that Wells Fargo is exerting. I do like that there are things that they're taking from other issuers. They seem to have an unofficial X24 rule. They're not going to tell you that it's official, that it's there, but I'm noticing that folks who are above a certain number of cards in the last 24 months are getting denied for Wells Fargo. I see that if you pull if you get a hard pull on one card, your next card isn't getting a hard pull. I got a hard pull for the Signify Cash in April, and it had been years since I applied for a Wells Fargo card, but I got a hard pull in the Signify Cash, and then 3 months later when I got the Attune card, there was no hard pull for the Attune. I did get a pull, but it was a soft pull. So definitely something of interest there. So they're taking some from Chase, they're taking some from American Express. As long as they don't have City's level customer service, you should be fine. It'll be interesting to see if like they steal from US Bank with mobile wallet with the Beyond. Like, again, I don't know what Beyond looks like, but I am intrigued to find out. Chad Pennycuff says all the rooms look the same when you turn the lights off. Generally true, yes. I just worry about the things that are in the room before you turn off the lights and making sure that you get those addressed beforehand, before you take the option to turn off the lights. So here we go. Source King asks, do you think I'm going to regret going all in on Alaska Airlines, on Alaska miles, transferring 200,000 MR points, getting Hawaii and Alaska cards? No, as long as you're able to utilize the points, and like you can use Alaska miles on a bunch of their partners. So like you can book Iceland Air with those Alaska miles. You can book Condor. You can book Alaska. You can book One World partners. You can book a whole bunch of options with those miles. So I don't think you're going to regret it. I do think the transferring MR points to Hawaiian is going to get shut down as soon as Alaskan can do it, however long that will be. But for now, folks are making hay as best they can, and Alaska's going to bear the brunt of it, but they're going to shut that valve off as soon as possible. So as long as you have a plan for those Alaska miles, I don't think you're going to regret going all in the way that you have. They have tons of partners. They have tons of options. They have, really solid ways for you to utilize those miles. If you've got the ability to do it and you want to do it and there's something that makes sense for you, why wouldn't you do it? And again, this faucet with Alaska, with the transfer partnership from MR to Hawaiian, is only going to last so long. So, utilize it while you can. What's here today will not necessarily be there tomorrow. It's there. You can use it. Why not? We also have a super chat from QC Man who says, Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, QC Man. Hopefully yours was as a filling meal. How about that? But happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for the super chat. Very thankful for that. Thank you for taking the time, and thank you for support. Joshua Ing says Wyndham properties have gotten fairly expensive in the places I have visited. Unfortunately, I've seen IHG properties go cheaper than some of what Wyndham has. Yeah, that's just going to be the market sometimes. I don't know where exactly, but if there's a spark, like it can be supply and demand, it can be the type of hotel that's getting put in. Like a Wingate and a Holiday Inn Express should be about the same, but yeah, I don't know what's going on where Wyndham's more expensive than IHG, but it can definitely vary by market. So I'm sure there's other places where IHG is way more expensive than Wyndham. It just goes around. So let's see. Charles says, I'm interested to see where Walmart and Apple Card end up. Me as well. I think Walmart, between the two, I think Walmart is more likely to go forward by putting out their own credit card and doing their own thing with credit. They have this one debit card, and they purchased the company behind that. I think it was a fintech, but I'm not sure if it was a fintech or they had a banking charter. And if they had a banking charter, that gives them extra, like, other moves that they can do. But if it's a fintech or it's something in the line of Klarna or a firm, and they just can extend that credit, Walmart, I think, is going to try to go their own way, and to do so in I don't want to say devilish or devious way, but in the way that is going to net Walmart the most profit, while netting you something that seems somewhat worthwhile to keep coming back. That sounds weird, I know, but I think between these two companies, they're going to try to go their own way and keep everything in house, because they would have to, they would split the swipe fee with Visa or MasterCard, whoever they partner with as a payment processor. But yeah, I see them going their own way, trying to maximize their profits. Apple, I think at this point, seeing what happened with Goldman Sachs, there's things that they'll still want to do. They'll still want to make it easier to get than other credit cards, because they want to put MacBooks in people's hands. They want to put iPhones in people's hands. They want to get people using their hardware. Is it Chase? I don't know. Is it Wells Fargo? I don't know. But they are going to line up with a traditional bank of some kind. And I don't know if they're going to follow the same sort of deal that Amazon has with Chase. And that deal has worked for 20 years. And Amazon, if I remember correctly, is okay with Chase being a little bit looser on the underwriting, as long as people are able to get the card. And then Amazon will cover some of the losses, because Amazon wants to be involved in as many transactions as they can. So getting cards into hands is a way to make that happen. But I think between the two, I think you'll see Walmart go their own path, and Apple probably end up with a traditional bank for now, just to mitigate some of the potential losses. I don't think Apple was losing much in any way, shape, or form. And Apple is also a middleman on the mobile wallet. So yeah, but I do think Apple will end up going to a more traditional bank for a few years, kind of collect things and then move forward from there. We're going to highlight another super chat from Dugras, who says, Wells versus City now, who is winning at current? I don't know. Wells has a lot of strong 3 and 4X categories, but they don't have a knockout 4X category. If there was a 4X travel card, that would be huge. If there was a 4 times dining card, that would be helpful. But until their big cards come out, I'm not sure. The City Strata Premier is a good all-around card at $95. I don't love its $100 credit on 500 spend through the travel portal. but they have that annual fee card. The autograph journey is just a little too, it's not enough of an everyday card, whereas the Strata Premier is a good everyday card. But for travel purposes, the autograph journey can definitely win out. Its $50 credit is super easy to use, but it doesn't have anything else that really offsets the annual fee to net out for you. And the travel partner game would be City. So travel partner City wins. Card ease of use on everyday spend. It's a push at best. It would have been great to get like a 4X dining or 4X grocery category in there somewhere. Or maybe if Wells Fargo did something like this, like put out a $250 annual fee card that would give you, like, let's say 4 times points on dining and 4 times points on groceries, and let you get like $240 in credit somehow, and just presented that to you uncapped on the earnings, because it's Wells Fargo and they just need like reputation wins. No, I think right now it's still a bit of a push. We'll have to see what the final like big boss cards look like at the end. I'm very partial to Wells, but I understand Wells's handicaps. And as much as I hated the Strata Premier's like silent launch on a Sunday, it's hard to argue against that card. So I think there's still a push, but I do think I'd rather bet on Wells Fargo long term than Citi, until Citi's customer service like comes up to like Discover standards. We'll go back. Joshua Ng. Amex will always be the industry leader for luxury travel, while Capital One would argue be leading in the affordable but elevated travel. Wells' best position to hit somewhere in the middle. Chase. Yeah, I can't disagree there. I could see Wells coming after Chase. It's really hard. You can't go to the absolute top, and it wouldn't make sense to try to be like the budget king until like Capital One vacates that or stumbles with the Venture X in some way. But for now, I think kind of taking aim at the Sapphire Reserve would make a lot of sense. Rodrigo, you think Bilt will be able to keep Hyatt as a transfer partner? They haven't done any major promotions with Hyatt since that Globalist mattress run, and Hyatt offers that mattress run to corporations a lot, so I don't see why it would be a problem. I could see that coming back next year, honestly. I don't think there's been any major issue with that transfer partnership. It's not like Hyatt's award calendar is structured in such a way that like you're not always going to be able to like move a whole bunch of built points out. Like you have to build up some built points to then move over to Hyatt. So I think it seems to be working. That is going to be the next major built. That is like the next big question mark I have for Bilt. Can you keep this partnership? Like their contract with American Airlines expired, right? Can they keep this contract? Can they keep it 1-to-1? And is there anything else that's going to go in with it? Like in the future, does a Bilt premium card include Hyatt status? Like it would probably just be Discoverist, right? But that's the sort of thing that I'd be looking at. First, can you extend the contract? And then second, can you keep it 1-to-1? And go from there. Elman Gaming. Hey, how's it going, Elman? If you had to pair the CSR with another card from a different ecosystem, which card are you picking? Ooh, that's a tough one, because the Venture X would make a certain amount of sense with access to transfer partners. You're going to get 2 times points on everything. So now you've raised your floor at minimum. You've got 1 times points earning on the travel eraser feature. You do get more transfer, like you get potentially complimentary transfer partners. You do get lower end hotels with choice at 1-to-1, and that's a rough transfer partner, but you get like Wyndham as well with Capital One. But then you have that really rough Accor transfer partnership. So like there's a case to be made for the Venture X, and if you don't want to spend $395, the Capital One Venture at $95 does the exact same thing. Outside of Wells, no annual fee, Autograph. If the Autograph had grocery, that would be a no-brainer, because then you can do your grocery spending on the Autograph, your streaming on the Autograph, and then your gas on the Autograph. So like there's some synergies there, and it would give you the transfer capabilities to Choice and Virgin, and it's a nice complementary setup to the Chase travel partners that you already have. Then there's the Blue Business Plus for no annual fee, puts American Airlines options into play. I mean, not American Airlines, sorry, American Express transfer options into play. So I think if I had to rank it, I would say, because what I'd be looking for is, do you also give me the ability to transfer to complementary partners or supplement what I already have? So Blue Business Plus, Venture, Autograph. And if Autograph got groceries, then Autograph would be at the top. But that is how I'd pair Venture and CSR. You could do pretty well, because you're going to get the Priority Pass lounges with CSR. You're going to get Sapphire lounges. You're going to get all these other things, and it can work out pretty well. So yeah, I would say Venture first, Venture or Blue Business Plus. I would go with the Blue Business Plus, then I would go with the Venture. And if the Autograph got tweaked where it got groceries, then the Autograph would jump to the top. But yeah. Speaking of Sapphire lounges, QC Man says, what's the best food at the Sapphire Lounge? If you're not going with the burger, might be going to one soon. QC Man, I'm not sure which lounge you're going to. Just check out the menu. If I remember correctly, the one in Phoenix is going to be is locally inspired. They're all locally inspired. But I'm not sure which lounge you're going to. If it's the New York lounge, the LaGuardia Lounge, I haven't gotten the chance to go to the LaGuardia Lounge yet. But Dugras has mentioned that the burger was cold. So yeah, I don't know what's going to be the thing you get at the lounge. Yeah, I'm not the best to offer major advice there. Go with what looks interesting, and if it doesn't work out, I'm sorry. Spathco is here. He says, I'm late to the live. Are we giving thanks that Chase continues to offer the glorious card that is the Sapphire Preferred? Spathco, you are a hilarious scholar and a gentleman. You know my feelings on the Sapphire Preferred. I would much rather have the built card, even with all the warts that are going on with the built card right now. Moving on. Rodrigo asks, do you think the Chase Inc. train is over after the recent news about them cracking down on it? As I said on an episode of Stack Your Points, and I'll reemphasize here, for new business owners, for new businesses applying for their first cards, no. If you are using the same business and it is your 8th card in 6 months, and Chase may be looking at their previous underwriting and their ability to just give out cards like candy, and have decided that no, that is not going to continue. So I do think there is some clampdown happening, but I don't necessarily think that for new business owners or folks who get an ink or two, who get like 1 or 2 inks a year, that things are going to be seriously clamping down. But if you're on your 6th ink in 6 months, Chase is probably looking at ways to tighten down a little bit. Yeah, so I don't think the ink train is over. I do think there's some changes, but yeah, I haven't experienced them. I'm actually thinking of closing my Ink Unlimited as part of me transferring over to the Freedom Unlimited, and then applying for another Ink Unlimited when the 99,000 point offer comes around. And I'm calling it a 99,000 point offer because it's a 90,000 point offer with 6,000 in spend, but that 6,000 in spend is at 1.5. So that is 9,000 points. 9,000 plus 90,000, 99,000 points. So there we go. Dugra was mentioning to QC Man the burger was cold. QC Man, Spathco, did Matt change his mind and become a CSP fan? What's next? He'll get a rotating category card. I was asked about a rotating category card earlier tonight. I don't know. The only way that I'm going to get a rotating category card is if the Freedom Unlimited double cash back after a year comes back. Then I will change the card that I'm looking to turn into a Freedom Unlimited into a Freedom, a Chase Freedom with Ultimate Rewards, the Visa one, and just like park that card for a while and then do the Freedom Unlimited for a year of double cash back. And then after that year, cancel that card, like on month 13 or 14, cancel that card and then move my other card back to a Freedom Unlimited. QC Man, disappointing. That's disappointing. Dugras gotta at least give me McDonald's level service. Yikes. Charles, I think Wells may be gaining momentum versus City. Definitely possible. I wouldn't say for certain, but I can definitely see them getting more, gaining momentum on City. City's got a lot of reputational damage, not in the same way as Wells, but City's reputational damage is you took these things away from me once, you've just now started giving them back. Who's to say you're not going to take them away again? So that is my issue with City right now, and I'm not even a City customer. But like, you took things away once, and you slowly brought them back. Who's to say you're not going to do it again the next time hard times fall? Dr. Vinny Bombats. Dr. Vinny, welcome to live stream. He says merge into City Fargo Bank. Hopefully not, but there we go. I'm still 10 minutes behind on comments. Jeez, sorry about that. Spathco says, QC Man, it's the highest earning dining and portal airfare card that Chase offers. Very only technically true because of that 10% bonus at the end of the year. Charles laughs at Dr. Vinny's suggestion. Dugra says, I'm about half a step away from ceasing to recommend City cards unless you live near a physical branch so you can talk to a human. Their service is so bad. Even then, maybe not. That's another thing with City. Like their customer service reputation is rough. Also, like putting a City card into mobile wallet and then that triggering issues and City having fits with most of your spend on a mobile wallet, it's not the easiest place to do business with. QC Man says he bit the JFK Lounge. Yeah, so the burgers and everything, that was at the LaGuardia Lounge. I haven't heard any like major food highlights, but just go with what looks good. I know that lounge is done in partnership with Etihad. I don't know if the Etihad relationship plays into any of the lounge offerings for food. No major recommendations at the JFK Lounge. I also haven't been able to hit them up, even though I've been to JFK a couple of times this year, just because I was flying out of Terminal 5 and the lounge is at Terminal 4, and the terminals are not connected airside at JFK because JFK is a barbarian wasteland. Tab Pennycuff, I got both new annual fee inks in 2023. Summer 2024 got the CIP. I still get monthly pre-approved letters for more inks, but I do legitimately have a Chase Business checking account, and it sees $2,500 a month of action. Yeah, I've got a Chase Business checking account. I haven't been getting pre-approval letters for other inks. Like the 2 times I've applied for ink cards, I've kind of just gone with elevated offers or interesting like limited time offers and pushed forward with those and was okay there. I have since opened a Chase Business checking account, and once I start like pushing more money, because everything on the channel goes into that account. So if the channel does better and the channel grows, then more money will be going into that account and potentially pre-approvals will be coming through. But I've opened a ton of business cards this year. I had the JetBlue business card. I had the Signify Cash, which has a much higher credit line than any of my Chase cards. I opened the Chase Ink this year, the Ink Cash this year. I opened the Ink Unlimited in late 2023. I opened the Blue Business Plus this year, and I might open another business card earlier in the year. So, yeah. Dugraz mentions 27 people watching, only 17 thumbs up. Smash the button, bring folks here. Yeah, definitely smash the like button. I will continue. We're an hour and 35. I might go to 2 hours. We'll see. I'm really enjoying this new setup, enjoying that folks are able to interact and able to hear me. So that's really good. So yeah, definitely hit the like and subscribe, hit the like button. If you're new here and like what I do, hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be great. I do usually as close to daily as I can news drops with whatever's going on in the credit card world. It's been a really slow couple of weeks just because we're getting into the holiday season. So if you haven't launched a card by now, you probably aren't launching a card until the new year. So things are a little slow at the moment. So now I've got to shift into some more opinion videos and things like that. I've been doing a year in review series. I still have City to go through with my year in review. I have to reach out and get that set up. Work and life have been lifing. So yeah, I just want to make sure I get through that. But all the support would be greatly appreciated. So thank you, Dugraz. Charles mentions the City Unlimited, the Freedom Unlimited 3% link from Doctor of Credit still works. I think my player 2 may grab it. That's a good one. That is the 20,000 cap, the $20,000 cap one. I definitely think that's a pretty solid offer. If it included the welcome offer, that would be even better. Like the standard welcome offer, that would be even better. But it ends up being about $300 net on the 20,000 spend. So your mileage is definitely going to vary. It can work. But that's not quite the one that I want to do, because the one I want to do is the double cash back match at the end of a year. And I would just put all my spend through that card for the year. That is a great gardening card. And since there's no subs that are like super interesting to me right now, I'm longing for that, just because that would just be a great, I don't have to worry about anything. And I'm going to get a pile of Freedom Unlimited, Ultimate Reward points at the end of that. And then I have points galore to play with. So yeah, that 20,000 spend though, that can be a good way to just like garden for a little while, push a lot of spend through. You're going to get 3% minimum on that 20,000 spend, and you're good to go. The other problem with that is that it only adds to the other categories by 1.5, and the double cashback doubles everything. So that's also the dining, that's also the pharmacy, that's also the travel. So the travel would be 10% on everything, 6% pharmacy, 6% dining, 3% on everything. The current 20,000 cap is 3% everything, 4.5 dining, which is still relatively strong, 4.5 pharmacy, and 6.5 in the portal. Dr. Vinny Bombats, I came for the flannel. I stayed for the credit card bits of TID. Yeah, I do like the flannel. And going through some tidbits is always good. Dugras says, TIDs and bits? Both? Yes. Yes, it is a TIDs and bits type day. Dr. Vinny says, crying laughs at Dugras. So there you go. Chad Pennycuff says, who lives near New York City? I'd love to do a meetup at the Centurion Restaurant Lounge. I live near New York City, but I do not have access to that lounge. So if that lounge grants guests, that'd be interesting to see, because that is, I want to say that's in the Vanderbilt building on like 57th Street on like the 50 something. I know where, if you're talking about the one that's in Midtown, not at the airports, that would be really cool to experience. I know that's got like its own, that very definitely has its own Centurion section. But yeah, that would be cool to experience sometime. And I am about an hour north of New York City. and can definitely use Metro North to go down and reap some 3% rewards on that one. QC man, it's totally superficial and really doesn't matter for anything, but I also hate how flimsy the city cards are. Doesn't have to be metal, but they scratch so easily. I've also heard that like they are like the cheapest of plastics, where the Wells Fargo autograph card is a plastic card, and yes, it does have bend to it, but it's a very thick plastic card. So yeah, I've heard not so nice things about how flimsy the city cards are. David Gomez says, I think Wyndham will increase the welcome bonus on the Wyndham Business Earner. I know they just recently had a relatively elevated welcome offer. I don't remember if it was up to 90,000 points, but those do come in cycles. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. I feel like they just recently had an increased welcome offer, but I don't remember how much it was. I feel like I may have done a video on that, but if I did, it was like back in September, so maybe that ended. But no, those will definitely come through. Those will definitely come through sometime, and definitely keep on the lookout for it. But they do come around. Chad says, yes, the Vanderbilt Midtown. I've been to dinner side there, but I want to hang out at the lounge side. Yeah, that could definitely be a hang. Again, I don't know what the entrance policy is on that one, because I know it's like a whole floor of a building. So like there's space for people, but I don't know what the entrance requirements are. Like, I currently don't hold a platinum card, so I wouldn't typically have Centurion Lounge access, but you could, if there's a guest access, hey, that'd be cool to hang out. Hey, Call Me Lonnie's here, my co-host on the Stack Your Points podcast. Good evening and happy holidays, Matt and everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Call Me Lonnie. Thanks for that. And happy holidays to you. Hopefully your day with family was good. And I know that you don't necessarily celebrate this one, but there you go. But thank you so much, Lonnie. And Lonnie is another channel member, so thank you for that. Joshua Ing says, laugh out loud, City is still nickel and diming to this day. Yes, they are. They wouldn't be City otherwise. QC Man says, happy Turkey Day, Lonnie. David Gomez says, it used to be 100,000. Right now it's 80. Okay. Yeah, I don't know when the next time it's going to go up to 100,000 will be. I know that there are cycles to these. There's a certain cadence to these things. One of the blogs definitely keeps like a tracker of this. I don't know if it's Frequent Miler or Doctor of Credit, but one of them definitely keeps it, like when the highest one came around, how long it lasted, did it come back around again. So the 100,000, I don't know when that will come back around, but I know that these things are usually done in cycles, and I think after they lose the ability to just status match with the card over to Caesars, there's probably going to be a dip in interest in the card, so they'll have to raise the welcome offer to get interest back, to get some customers back in, if you know what I mean. So we'll see. Lonnie, extending the same to you, to QC Man. Charles says, I'm still getting used to my first metal card. The Venture X may grow to like it. I like the metal cards that I have. I have the Sapphire Reserve. My very first metal card was the Apple card. My second metal card was that stupid X1 card that I'm going to let die a death of non-use after I pay it off in December. And then I'm going to just stop using it, because that is currently the only charge that's going through that card is my Player 2's cell phone. And that is going to get moved over to my Chasing Cash so that can start generating over 500 Ultimate Reward points a month. And then I'll be done with the X1 card, and they will cancel it. Chad Petticuff says you only need a plat card to get access. Interesting. So if you're in the New York City area and want to hang out with Chad Petticuff, cool. Um, Lonnie says, I'm surprised you remembered. Lonnie, I sometimes have a very good memory. And, you know, it, it made sense why. So, yeah, there we go. Chad says, at Charles, I loved metal at first, but now I got a wallet full and really appreciably thinner and lighter plastic cards without raised lettering. Um, yeah, I can see both on that one. As long as you don't have embossed cards, you're good. I don't necessarily need a metal card at all times. I do like the feel of some metal cards, but not every card needs to be metal, but every card needs to be flat and unembossed. I'm going to say that right now. Joshua says, do you think more banks will start introducing loyalty with US Bank Smartly now being a thing? It's definitely not preferred rewards level, but seems like they want to start challenging Bank of America. So on this one, do I think those banks, I think there are non-travel associated banks that would be looking to jump in on this. US Bank was never really the first bank that you thought of with travel, and the way that they're going about this, their rollout is bad, but I think there are other banks that could do well with this potentially. Offhand, the first bank that would come to mind would be like PNC. Citi could also bring something back with their like Citi Gold program that they had. So I do think there are other banks that could look into loyalty, getting you more rewards, but I don't think they want to that they'll necessarily want to. But I do think other banks are going to get into, be loyal to us. We'll be more loyal to you with rewards. But who that would be, I don't know. I would say PNC to start, maybe a Huntington, like the smaller, like the banks that have names beyond their region, but don't push beyond their region to become like more national. So places like Huntington, Santander, Citizens, Fifth Third, PNC, those level of banks could definitely benefit from that. I don't see Chase doing it. I don't see Wells Fargo doing it. I don't see American Express doing it. But that's not to say that they wouldn't, but it might interact with it might conflict with their travel programs. So I think there could become a point where like you'll either, if it's going to be one of the big banks like Chase or whoever, you're either going to get into a track that is their travel program track, where like the big thing is going to be like that Sapphire Reserve, or if there's a card that comes out above the Sapphire Reserve, or you're going to do something with like maybe Project Emerald is something akin to preferred rewards. And if you go into that track, you'll get the elevated earnings for holding more money. But I would see the other smaller, more regional banks doing it first, like PNC, Huntington, Citizens, Fifth Third, banks like that. Ian Maskell or Maskell, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right. Happy Thanksgiving, Matt. Happy Thanksgiving, Ian. Spathco says, I'd opt for the plastic version of every card if I could. Very valid argument. As long as they're not embossed, then they're fine. Rodrigo, do you understand frequent milers reporting on Chase nuking the trip interruption protection insurances for the CSR? Can you explain? He says that he himself is a blockhead. Rodrigo, I appreciate your self-deprecation. I also am a blockhead. From what I understand, Spathco has kind of spelled it out as Chase hasn't really changed it. They're just enforcing it to the way that it is written, and where you may have previously been able to get full insurance on a trip that you only booked with like X number of miles and you only paid $5.60. Now your coverage will be for the $5.60, and everything past that will not be covered by Chase. That is the simplest I think I can break it down. But if you join one of the Discords, either the Venture Capital Discord or the Stack Your Points Discord. Spaithco definitely has this broken down. Spaithco knows these travel insurances and these programs much better than I do. And he may even answer in the comments here. So definitely be on the lookout for that one. But it is effectively like what you pay is what's going to get covered. So if you pay for everything outright with your card, you're covered. If you only do you transfer over to Air Canada and you don't pay with the Air Canada card, but you pay with Sapphire Reserve, but you paid everything in points, you paid for the bulk of the trip in points, but then you paid your taxes and fees, you're covered for the taxes and fees. You're not necessarily covered for the rest. That may have been the case before them changing to this new insurance company that they've partnered with for claims and more strictly enforcing the letter of their law, the letter of their policy. Joshua says, I don't know if it's just me. Does the background low-key give Quicksilver energy? I can definitely see that. That was not the intention. It was just a nice background that I found that wasn't continuing to look into the abyss that is the bunker. I know that the bunker is my thing. At some point, I'm going to get a green screen probably, just because I'm self-conscious about the bunker. But I know others don't particularly care about the bunker. So there we go. Charles was agreeing with Chad on metal and plastic cards. David says, I know you don't have a passport. I do now. But it's a good amount of points. I should save to book 2 tickets to and from Japan. If anyone in the comment knows, business leg flat. Depends on who you're flying with, what airline you're looking to primarily start from. If you want to fly, Star Alliance has ANA. Japan Airlines is a One World, so start from the partnerships there. I know that your rates with different alliance members can vary for business lay flat, and then whatever you find for one, just multiply it by 2 and you'll have your answer there. I'm going to assume something around the neighborhood of 110,000 for 2, like 55,000 might be the low end. More likely you're going to look at like 70 or 80, but again, check your Avios programs, check your Air Canada's and your other Star Alliance partners or One World partners, and go from there, because you can always find some good value utilizing the airline alliances or partner airlines and get those bookings for a little bit cheaper. Seats Aside Arrow is going to be a great resource for that, but folks in the comments, if there's anything you can give David, that would be huge. Chad followed up with Spaithco. U.S. Bank makes it near impossible to move large amounts of money to their bank. Zelle limit 3K, AHS limit, ACH limit 2,500. Good luck getting a ton of cash there for Smartly without wire fees. That's fair. Oh, and then David followed up with Chase points, that is. Chase. So first look at the again, you'll want to look at One World and Avios. I'm sorry, not One World. One World and Avios, or Air Canada and your other Star Alliance partners that they have. Air Canada is the biggest and easiest one. Also, Singapore is Star Alliance. So if you want to do ANA, utilize your Star Alliance partnership. If you want to do Japan Airlines, utilize your One World Avios primarily. Chad Pennycuff, if Chase did a loyalty program and upped you are earning cards, it would be game over. Depends if you and upped you are earning, maybe, yeah. I think there'd be cuts to things like the transfer portal savings, or like the transfer portal, the travel portal 1.5 would probably be nuked down to like 1.25 for the Sapphire Reserve or less. So there may be trade-offs, but we'll see. Let's see. David William says Smartly isn't worth it in my opinion. You can use 100,000 for brokerage bonuses. Sure. You can also do Smartly at 2.5 for 5,000 to 49,999. I don't know that 2.5 is necessarily worth it, especially with the 5,000. But 50K being 3% across the board, there could be value there. But yeah, the thing that everyone's going to want to go for first is the 4%. And I agree, I don't necessarily think that the 4% is there, but I can see arguments for it. So we'll see. QC Man, Chad. So for you, US Bank is pretty much just US bar, nothing else. I'm sure he answered there. Spathco says that Chad, I already built in US Bank /Smartly. Their self-directed brokerage exceeds my personal risk tolerance. I moved everything out and never got a single notice or alert. Yeah, things were rough for Spathco. Chad mentioned at Spathco, I have some index ETFs that are buy and hold that are moving there to meet requirements. We'll see how it goes. Okay. So we'll see what happens there. My biggest problem with Smartly is that Smartly and US Bank cannot go together. But if you're going to cash out the 4% points on Smartly and then use them for a travel purchase and then erase I don't know. I just wish the points would pool. I wish the point systems for US Bank would make sense. So there we go. Charles says, I've grown to look like the bunker look myself, but it may be screening out the more shallow or just browsing new viewers, so may not be helpful overall. Yeah, there's a certain level of that. Like I like the sort of DIY aesthetic of it just because it's an unfinished space. I do plan on redoing the space at some point for not just for like my day-to-day job, and because this is like where I work for my work, and then I do all the channel stuff down here as well. So I do want to change the space up to fit what I want to do and get a standing desk in here because I am so tired of sitting all day every day. But yeah, some of the bunker look is I think there's only a certain amount of audience that could be there for that. And if I want to keep growing, maybe change the aesthetic a little, but we'll see. Chad says, I'm going to try US Bank plus US Bar plus Forex Smartly and see how it goes. Yeah, it's a worthwhile experiment. I don't know how worth it that's going to be, but there you go. And Chad follows up with David William depends on how much self-directed money you got to throw around. Yeah, that's totally fair. So y'all, we are coming up on 2 hours. I don't necessarily want to do a marathon live like some of my other co-creators, but we do still have 25 folks watching. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button. I'm streaming through StreamYard, so I can't necessarily look at the likes to viewers ratio. I know that Dugraz mentioned it earlier, so thank you, Dugraz, for that. If you guys have any other questions, anything else you want to pop in the chat, that'd be great. I do think we're going to wrap up at about the 2 hour mark, so we'll leave it here for a couple more minutes of questions. But again, I want to thank everyone for taking up to 2 hours of your time on Thanksgiving night on a stream that I wasn't 100% sure was going to work out, just because my previous streams have been, shall we say, bumpy and brand new computer, brand new setup. I'm going to be upgrading my docking station that I use for work and get that upgraded to a Thunderbolt out cable so that I can have extended displays so I can look over at this screen and like see what's happening, like give you the news from here, or keep the live here and kind of like look over at the questions, one or the other. But there we go. Charles mentions 39 likes so far, so thank you so much for that, Charles. David said, thank you so much. I think this screen looks better. Yeah, I'll keep this background going. I can always go in and change the backgrounds as well with FaceTime, because again, I said I'm streaming through a Mac. I could like set myself up at Apple Park, but that would just be a little too fantastical. So this background, eventually I'd like to get a green screen. That's probably one of the next things I do. I've got the audio kind of in a place where I want to keep putting up some soundproofing. around this space and above me, but we'll see because I can't. Anyway, yeah, so there'll be less bunker aesthetic probably the more I record through the MacBook and more lives kind of with this background or something akin to it. But no, the bunker is alive and well. It's just I'm looking at trying to go beyond that. So Spathco says, thanks for the live and thanks to the banks for subsidizing some of our vacations this year. Absolutely. Banks definitely subsidized my trip to New Orleans. Banks subsidized my trip to Detroit. Banks will be subsidizing my future international travels, my travels off the contiguous 48 states, because there's 2 states and a couple of U.S. territories I'd love to visit. So we're going to do that. Charles says, lives can't be easy. Great job. Better than I can do. Hey, you never know. Just turn on the camera, see what happens. I'm just glad that we got to 2 hours with no technical issues. It was the technical issues that were pushing me away for the longest time, just because every time I thought I had it figured out, I didn't. And I finally put the bill for a new computer to make it work. Tampa Travel, great live. David says, yes, very thankful for bank bonus and credit cards. Yes, bank bonuses are another side of this game that I desperately should be learning. I want to start setting aside some money for that and go from there. But that's going to do it for this live. If you like what I do, hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you want to support me here on YouTube, there are super chats, super thanks. If you're watching this on demand afterwards, feel free to drop a super thanks. That would be a huge help. If ads came up, hopefully watch some of those ads to help as well. But I appreciate everyone watching. Thank you for your time. And if you catch this on the video on display, thank you for taking the time to watch this as well. Talk to you guys soon, and I will be back with tidbits and probably that chase edit thing I mentioned at the beginning of the stream sooner than later. But thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.